3, 2, 1. We're going to try this one more time and just hope and pray that everything turns out right this time. That's all we can hope for. For those of you, all of you that are with us right now, you know that we obviously had some technical issues with our first link, unfortunately. And so now we're on a whole separate link, and we're going to give this one a go. We're going to hopefully be able to get through this evening's performance barring any other foreseeable issue. Just to let everybody know that if for some reason there is some major technical issue that happens again, what we will do is we will just and we will then upload it to that YouTube link. We will do that with the original YouTube link as well. So we'll just have kind of 2 Christmas carols floating out there. But we will be uploading the show eventually, and it'll be delightful. So let's just reboot. Let's start over. As one of our cast members just reminded us, we are still in 2020. So why would I expect anything different to happen? That's just what I'm going to say. So welcome to this live virtual production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I am honored to have been able to direct this immensely talented cast for tonight's performance to benefit the Frostig School, which is where I have been the drama teacher and continue to be the drama teacher for the past 15 years. Frostig is a nonprofit private school for kids K through 12 with learning differences. And as you all know, education facilities have been affected greatly during the COVID-19 pandemic. They have additional costs to upgrade facilities. They have added health procedures to safely bring our kiddos back to school. Eventually, especially if you're in California. We will eventually get there, folks, but it'll take a little while. Tonight's benefits performance is free for all to enjoy, but if you are so inclined to do so after the show, because I had to change the links here, I will be adding a donation link in the description box that will have the donation page to Frostig that you can make a tax-deductible gift if you are so inclined. Again, since we're on a brand new link, I didn't have time to add that information yet, but it is coming, and we'll make sure to get the word out for those of you who are able to donate at this time. But please enjoy the show. When adapting this piece for the stage over a decade ago, my perspective on the season was forever altered. It struck me to the core that Dickens so eloquently scolds us in the opening scene with the 2 solicitors asking for donations to feed the poor and hungry, stating that we choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. My hope in revisiting this show is that its message will resonate beyond the holiday season, but all year round. Now, more than ever, it is important for us to express our gratefulness, to ask for help when we need it, and to actively share kindness and good cheer to all. Speaking of expressing gratitude, I would like to thank Carlos Candia, Matthew Herrmann, Jill Franks, Lorena Bunting, Yuki Jimbo, and Bennett Hest for their contributions to our show tonight. And finally, to this cast who has graciously donated their time, their energy, their talents to bring our production to life tonight. Before we begin, this production is an elevated stage reading. And traditionally, at the first table read for a show, the cast will gather and the stage manager will often read the stage directions aloud. So I would like to introduce Toni Smith, if you can join us, my dear, whose voice you will hear intermittently reading our stage directions tonight. Toni, have you joined us? Yes, you're here.
I am here. Yes.
You're here. Thank God you're here. You're here. So again, you will be hearing Toni so eloquently give us our stage directions for our show tonight to help guide us through the show. So without her, we would be slightly confused. Again, reminder, this is a live show. So if we have any technical glitches or, kind of that glitchy stuff that can happen with, the internet, we're just going to persevere through, right, Toni? We're just going to.
Yes, we are.
We're just going to get this done.
We're going to do it.
We got to do it.
Great.
So without further ado, my dear friends, thank you for sticking with us. And I hope you enjoy tonight's A Christmas Carol. Take it away, Toni.
Lights up. Children run on stage in a game of tag. Soon the stage starts to come alive with activity and holiday bustle. Shoppers with their arms full hurry to get out of the cold, while street vendors shout, "Chestnuts a lot, a penny a score, 2 pence a pound grapes." The cold, bleak, biting air does not deter the people from gathering to greet others or finish their holiday shopping. Here comes Bob Cratchit, scurrying across the stage into Scrooge and Marley's counting house. He lights a candle on his small desk and begins to copy letters. He tries desperately to warm himself by candlelight, but to no avail. He hesitantly gets up to put more coal in the fire, sneaking glances at the door as to not be caught in the act. As Scrooge enters the shop, Bob hears the door chimes and panics. Clumsily, he tries to shut furnace doors.
Cratchit!
Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
I was feeling quite chilled, sir. I was just fanning the flame.
Get back to work.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own figgy pudding and buried with a stick of holly through his heart.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle Scrooge.
Humbug!
Oh, Christmas humbug, Uncle. Surely you don't mean that?
Oh, but I do. Merry Christmas indeed. What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What reason do you have to be morose? You're rich enough.
Ah.
Please don't be cross.
Oh, what else can I be when I live in such a world of fools? What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and finding every item in them through a round dozen of months presented dead against you? I say out upon Merry Christmas.
Uncle!
Keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, but which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas among the rest. But I have always thought of Christmas as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good. And I say, God bless it.
God bless it.
Another sound from you, Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas, and every day thereafter, far from these doors. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
I didn't come here to quarrel with you, Uncle.
I know why you've darkened my doorstep. Go on, out with it. The question you plague me with year after confounded year.
I would very much like for you to dine with us tomorrow night.
My answer remains unchanged.
Come now, Uncle, it would mean a great deal to me and to Emily.
Emily? Oh, yes, your wife. One of your many things from which you have not profited.
Careful, Uncle.
Why on earth did you ever get married?
Why did I? Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. If ever there was a thing more ridiculous than a Merry Christmas. Good day, nephew.
No. You never came to see me before I was married. Why give it as a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. And it was in the spirit of Christmas that I came here, and I shall keep my Christmas spirit to the last. So, a Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
I said good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Cratchit!
If you please, sir.
How have you put up with this covetous old sinner all these years? How is your family, Bob?
Well, sir, they're all well. Thank you for inquiring.
You'll give them my best.
I will, sir. Thank you. Goodbye, sir.
Merry Christmas.
And to you, a Merry Christmas.
There's another fellow, my clerk. 15 shillings a week and a wife and children, speaking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I suppose.
Yes, please come in.
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Why, what difference should that make when I care not who you two are?
Pardon me, sir?
If you're looking for Mr. Marley, you're 7 years too late.
Dead as a doornail, 7 years ago, this very night.
I am sorry for your loss, Mr. Scrooge. We have no doubt, however, his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it's more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time.
Sir, many thousands are in want of common necessaries, and hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons, sir.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor, then?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it. I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth.
We choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices.
Now, what shall we put you down for, sir?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing? I think he said nothing.
Nothing. He said nothing. I see. You wish to be left anonymous. Very good.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Sir, it is our business to help those that are less fortunate.
It is not my business. It is enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me completely. Cratchit, show these two out. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Right this way.
They exit. A boy sings a carol in exchange for coins from the passerby. Bob stands in the doorway for a moment to enjoy the music. Jude becomes visibly agitated.
Stop that infernal noise! Where do you think you're going?
It's 7 o'clock, sir.
Oh, always ready and willing to quit your work, I see. You expect me to give you the day off tomorrow, I suppose?
If it's quite convenient.
Oh, it's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop you half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you? And yet, you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work?
Christmas comes but once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day.
Thank you, sir.
Be here all the earlier the next morning.
I will, sir. Thank you, sir. Merry. Goodbye, sir.
While waiting patiently to surprise his father, Tim longingly watches the other children run and play.
Father!
Tim! What are you doing here?
I've come to walk home with you.
You must be chilled to the bone. I have wonderful news, my boy. The Cratchit family will be spending Christmas Day together, all of us.
Really?
Yes. Now we must be getting home. Your mother shall be waiting for us, and we have something to tell her, don't we?
The whole day, Father. That is such good news.
They exit. Lights change as concertina softly playing music, a melancholy tune. Two inebriates stumble out of a tavern, followed by Scrooge, who gives a disapproving grumble. Scrooge arrives at his front door, and with his key in the lock, his eyes graze over his door knocker, which no longer resembled its usual shape, but had now acquired the visage of his old business partner, Jacob Marley.
Who said that? What's that?
As Scrooge looks fixedly at the phenomenon, it melts back again into his knocker.
Humbug.
To say that he was not startled and that his blood had not run cold would be untrue. Before retiring for the night, he pauses a moment in each room to ensure all is as it should be. Quite satisfied, Scrooge enters in his nightgown and sleeping cap, and closes the heavy door to his bedchamber and double locks himself in, which was not his usual custom. Sitting by the fire, he eats his bed lunch of gruel. The bell above his door begins to swing. Sound effects of a cacophony of bells and chimes. They come to a sudden halt, and we hear a door slam from a distance. Heavy metal chains are heard scraping across the old floors. Tension swells as his bedroom door slowly creeps open.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Oh no! What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
You're rather particular for a shade. Come out with it. Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Jacob? Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
How is it that I appear before you in shape that you can see? I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you for many and many a day. That is no light part of my penance.
Pah!
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do.
You are not looking at it.
But I see it nevertheless.
Well, I have but to swallow this and be for the rest of my days persecuted by a legion of goblins, all of my own creation. Humbug, I tell you! Humbug! Mercy, dreadful apparition! Why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must. But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. That if the spirit within him goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turned to happiness.
You are fettered. Why do you wear those chains?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it, link by link and yard by yard. I girded it of my own free will. And of my own free will I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it ever since. Yours is a heavy chain, Ebenezer.
Oh, Jacob, old Jacob Marley, I implore you, speak comfort to me.
I have none to give. No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse. Oh, captive, bound, and double-ironed. Not to know that any Christian spirit working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one life's opportunities misused. Yet such was I, oh, such was I.
Speak no more.
Mark me! In life my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing home. And now only weary journey lies before me.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year, oh, I suffer the most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down and never raise them to that blessed star whose light would have conducted me home? Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will, but pray don't be hard upon me, Jacob.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate, a chance and hope of my procuring, Ebenezer.
You are always a good friend to me, Jacob.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once, Jacob, and have it over with?
Expect the second at the hour of 2, the third upon the next, when the last stroke of 3 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and look that for your own sake you remember what has passed between us.
He exits, and the door slams shut behind him. Scrooge runs to the door and sees that its deadbolt is intact. He unlocks it to look out and shuts and locks it up again. Sitting in his chair, he pulls the blanket up to his chin and drifts off to sleep.
A quarter past. Half past. Quarter to it. The hour itself. And nothing else. Oh. Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
What are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
The light. Would you mind putting that on? It hurts my eyes.
What? Would you so soon put off with worldly hands the light that I give? Is it not enough that you are one of those whose passions have forced me to extinguish this light for whole trains of years?
Please, I meant no offense. What has brought you here?
Your welfare.
I'm much obliged, but I cannot help to think that a night of unbroken rest would have been more conducive to that end.
Your reclamation, then. Come, give me your hand.
But it is late. I am not dressed. Where are we going?
Bear but a touch of my hand here, and you shall be conscious of 1,000 odors floating in the air, each one connected with 1,000 thoughts and hopes, fears, joys, and cares long, long forgotten.
Good heavens, I know this place. I was a boy here. There's William, and that's Susie and Matthew.
These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us.
Children, we'll see you in the new year.
The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his family, is left there still.
I know. It happened every year.
What are we going to do this year, Ebenezer? Well, you certainly can't sit and read your Christmas away again. Well, I'm sorry, Ebenezer. I know you miss your family very much. Oh, well, I have something for you. You received a letter from your sister Fanny. I did, thank you.
My dearest brother, I so wanted you to be able to come home this year for Christmas. Father, being a morose spirit, has denied my annual request to come and fetch you. He says that you are to be thought upon no more, and I should obey his words and never speak of it again. I pray that someday we will be together. In the meantime, here is a picture for you. I know it's not much, but I hope it'll bring you some holiday cheer. With all my love, Fanny.
Poor boy. It's hard to feel alone and forgotten, especially at that age. I wish... but it is too late.
What is the matter?
Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Let us do another Christmas.
Ebenezer?
Fan, what are you doing here?
Oh, my dear brother, I've come to bring you home.
Home?
Yes, home forever and ever. Father's so much kinder than he used to be. That home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said, yes, you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you.
I can't believe it.
You're to be a man and never come back here again.
Oh, that is wonderful news. My, let me get a look at you. I can't believe how much you've grown. You're quite a young woman now, Fanny.
There's so much to catch up on, but we're to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in all the world.
He was always such a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had. I will not deny it, Spirit. God forbid.
She died a woman and had, as I think, children?
One child.
Ah, yes. Your nephew, Fred.
Yes.
There is a great deal more to see. Come take my hand.
Lights up on warehouse doors labelled Fezziwig's Textiles. A young Scrooge and his fellow apprentice, Dick Wilkins, are sitting at their desks, poring over their ledgers.
Do you know this place?
Know it. I was apprenticed here.
Ebenezer! Dick, it's 7 o'clock. No more work for anyone tonight. It's Christmas Eve!
Why, it's old Fezziwig, bless his heart. It's Fezziwig, alive again.
Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Come on, jump to it. Desk cleared away. We need to make room.
Sir, what's happening?
What's happening, he says. Why, a party, Dick. That's what.
Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Bless me, yes, there he is. He was very much attached to me, he was, dear, dear.
Looking good. We mustn't forget the garland. Ebenezer, help me drape the tables. The missus will be here any minute with all the dressings. She has overstocked the kitchen. Your trouser buttons will be tested, to be sure.
I have heard of her famous minced meat pies.
Infamous, you mean? Oh, those dreadful pies! My lads, one of the secrets to a long and joyful marriage is to never criticize the hand that feeds you. There we are. Now we must attend to something of the utmost importance. The hanging of the mistletoe, huh, boys? Ebenezer, you do the honors.
In a flurry of anticipation for the annual festivities, in came Mrs. Fezziwig, arms full to the brink with trays of sweets, followed by all the young men and women employed in the business. In they came, one after another, pushing and pulling with playful flirtation and frivolity. Belle enters gracefully with a rather precarious punch bowl.
Oh, good. You started clearing the way. Mr. Wilkins, help with the food. And Mr. Scrooge, do be a dear and lend Belle a hand with the punch.
May I?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome, everyone, and a Merry Christmas. Mrs. Fezziwig and I are pleased as punch to have you as our guest tonight.
Oh, yes. Now, there is to be no more talk of work, and you all must eat plenty of my minced pie. Oh, one of your favorites, right, dear? Right?
Guilty.
But most importantly, we are to dance until our hearts are content. Merry Christmas, everyone!
Fanny, what are you doing here?
Am I not allowed to have any fun?
Of course you are, but in moderation.
My dear brother, you worry about matters you have no control over whatsoever.
Just promise to make light your merrymaking.
I will do no such thing. The Fezziwig party is the most coveted event of the season.
Would you care to dance?
She is otherwise engaged.
Oh.
Sir, I love you, but I do not intend to sit my life idly by. Of all the people who treat me like porcelain, you wound me the most.
Fanny accepts John's invitation to dance. Belle approaches Ebenezer, who is preoccupied, perseverating on his sister's whereabouts.
The Fezziwigs bring such merriment during the holiday season. Ebenezer?
Yes, Mr. Fezziwig loves Christmas more than any man I've ever known.
You're quite fond of him.
He's given me this apprenticeship, a foundation upon which I plan to build my own fortune someday. Make my father proud.
Is he not proud of you now?
Well, it would be sufficient to say that I am a grave disappointment to my father. He wants me to be a great man someday. Important.
I believe we all must find our own ways to be happy.
And what would make you happy, Miss Bell?
No, it's silly.
Oh, come, you must tell me now. I am a most captive audience.
Well, one day I should like to have a man gaze at me with the same admiration that Mr. Fezziwig has for his missus.
Fezziwig mince pie. Yum yum.
Oh!
Yes. Oh, more.
Miss Bell, I would very much like to call upon you in the new year. If that would be to your liking.
I would like that very much, Ebenezer.
Oh, strike up, Sir Roger de Coverley!
Oh, come on, you two. Mrs. Fezziwig is going to be angry if you sit here all night and not enjoy the festivities. Ebenezer has kept you quite long enough for one night. Miss Bell, would you do me the honor of dancing?
I would be delighted.
I told you that she was too good for you.
Oh, Belle is a fine catch for any man lucky enough to hold. You'd be a fool to let that one get away.
I shall do my very best, Mrs. Fezziwig.
Oh, Ebenezer, life is but a brief journey to our eternal end, and it makes all the difference to travel the rough road of life with the right partner to help carry the burden. Come now, enough lecture. Go, be merry. 'Tis time for folly.
Mrs. Fezziwig gave Ebenezer the elixir of courage he needed. With that, he whisked Belle off to the dance floor. After several rounds of heart-pounding jigs, young Ebenezer and Belle steal away to a quiet corner.
Ah, my boy, look at where you've landed.
Oh, if I didn't know better, I'd have thought he planned it.
Go on now. Kiss her.
They kiss and accompany cheers. Lights fade slowly down to Past and Scrooge.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why? Is it not? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves your praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. He had the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome. His power lies in words and looks, in things so slight and insignificant that it is impossible to add and count him up. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing in particular.
Something, I think.
I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now, that's all.
My time grows short, and there is still so much more to see. We must hurry.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
From tender stem passant, of Jessie's lineage coming, as men of old have sung. It came a flowered bride, in the cold of winter.
As well as can be expected. It was a long, laborious task to bring our child into this world, and it has proved too much for her fragile nature. The angels are calling her home, Ebenezer. Her comfort is our principal concern now.
I see. May I have a word with her?
Of course.
Ebenezer? Huh. Isn't my Fred the most beautiful baby you've ever seen?
Fanny. My dear sister. How are you feeling?
blessed, fulfilled. He's given me unimaginable joy.
I've never seen you more radiant.
Tell me, brother, have you proven your intellect and asked for Belle's hand in marriage yet?
Yes, it's soon enough. As soon as I've acquired a better situation.
Oh, Ebenezer, there are far many things more important than financial gain. Just look at my Fred. How fortunate he is to have a devoted uncle to love and to look after him when I'm gone.
What? No, Fanny. Don't say
Ebenezer, please promise me you'll look after my Fred.
Fanny.
Please. Please. Just promise.
All right, Fanny. I promise.
Shh. All will be well, my love.
My dear sister.
I'm sure it eased her mind in the end to know that Fred had you to turn to love him for her sake.
Spirit, I beg you, conduct me home.
One shadow more.
No more. I don't wish to see it. Show me no more.
I apologize to have kept you waiting. There was an urgent matter to tend to at the shop.
It matters little. To you, very little. Another idol has displaced me. And if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come as I would have liked to, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
Well, isn't this the even-handed dealing of the world? There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and yet there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until your master passion gain engrosses you. Have I not?
Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed towards you, am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until in good season we could improve upon our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You are changed, Ebenezer. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you are not what you were. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and how keenly I have thought of this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
Well, in what then?
In a changed spirit? In an altered nature? In everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight? Tell me, if this had never been between us, would you seek me out now and try to win me?
You think not?
Oh, I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows. If you were free today, tomorrow, yesterday, can even I believe that you would choose a direless girl to marry? You who weigh everything by gain And if for a moment you were false enough to your one guided principle and marry me, regret would surely follow. And so, I release you with a full heart for the love of him you once were. You may have pain in this now, Ebenezer, but you will soon get over it. You will dismiss it gladly as a unprofitable dream from which you happened well that you woke from. May you be happy in the life that you have chosen, Ebenezer.
Wait. Don't let her leave. Go after her, you fool! Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me?
I told you these were shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Remove me. I cannot bear it. Take me back. Haunt me no longer.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Ebenezer Scrooge!
Who said that? Come out, whoever you are.
See me and know me better, man. Look upon me. Have you never seen the likes of me before?
Never.
Have you never walked with my younger brothers?
Not that I'm aware. Have you had many brothers, Spirit?
Oh, I should say so. More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to provide for.
I provide for all who seek compassion.
Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth earlier tonight on compulsion, and I dare say I learnt a lesson. If you have anything whatsoever to teach me, let me profit by it.
Come, drink from my cup.
What is it?
An intoxicating elixir.
I am uncertain. I am exceedingly particular about my drink.
You will not find a more savory means from which to quench your thirst than that of the promise of consciousness.
It is quite nice.
How can you appreciate its flavor when you gulp it down so readily?
Oh, that's quite delicious indeed.
Come, touch my robe. There is much to see.
Scrooge does as he is told, and all at once his surroundings vanished, and he finds himself standing in the city streets on Christmas morning. Emerging from scores of by-streets and lanes, innumerable people carry their dinners to the bakers' shops. The sight of these poor revellers appeared to interest the spirit very much, for he stood with Scrooge beside him in a baker's doorway, and, taking off the covers as their bearers passed, sprinkled incense on their dinners from his torch.
Is there a particular flavor in what you sprinkle on the food?
There is, my own.
Would it apply to any meal given on this day?
To any kindly given, to a poor one most of all.
Why to a poor one most?
Because it needs it most.
Well, is this what you have to show me? I don't see any particular merit in it.
Perhaps you'll find more importance in our next setting.
Lights up on Mrs. Cratchit and Belinda, lovingly preparing the table for their holiday meal. The air smells of savoury herbs and boiled, spiced fruit. Although the Cratchit's dwelling is small in stature, its warmth of love and depths of gratitude could have filled a home 3 times its size.
What on earth could be keeping your father and your brother Tim?
And Martha, she was at this late half an hour last Christmas.
Peter, are you finished mashing the potatoes yet?
Almost.
Well, see that you save some for the rest of us.
Yes, Mama.
I can smell the goose all the way down the street. Sage and onion, I'm hungry. When can we eat?
But not until your father's home. Now run along and go wash up.
Martha's here. Look, Mama, Martha's home. Did you smell the goose, Martha?
Such a merry goose. You won't believe it.
Bless my heart, dear child, you're late.
We'd a great deal of work to finish up and had to finish up in the morning.
Well, never mind so long as you're home. Now sit yourself down and have a rest before dinner.
Father's coming.
Hi, Martha, hide.
What?
Yes, we shall play trick on Father. Hide, go on.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Father!
Smells wonderful. Why, where is our Martha?
She's not coming.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day? Oh, Martha! I'm so happy to see you.
Merry Christmas, Father.
Okay, come on, children. Time to wash up for dinner. Now, girls, let's get the table set. Now, how did our little Tim behave?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful, sitting by himself so much that he thinks the strangest things you've ever heard. He told me coming home that he hopes people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and that it might be pleasant for them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
It would do us all good to remember such things.
I do believe he is growing stronger by the day, don't you?
He is, Bob. He is.
We're finished with the table.
All right, everyone, it's time.
I don't believe there was ever a goose cooked to such perfection.
Come on now, pass your plates.
Just look at this feast.
She'll have some of everything.
Are they all to be fed by this small fowl?
Many is the time that there have been magnificent feasts made grand, not by size, but rather by love, given during the making thereof. This is such a feast.
Well, surely it couldn't have cost him more than 15 shillings.
Indeed, an entire week's worth of wages for which this family shall struggle long after the feast and the season has ended.
What a splendid meal, my wife. You have outdone yourself.
There is one more item we have not yet tasted. Oh, I do hope it is done enough. Martha, please help me come get the pudding.
Eat pudding, my favorite. Suppose it should break in turning out.
Suppose somebody should have gotten over the wall and stolen it while we were merry with the goose.
That would be terrible. Don't say that.
Mrs. Cratchit enters with pudding complete with a sprig of holly in the centre. She places it in front of Bob for a test. He takes a bite and sits in contemplation.
Oh no. Is it dreadful?
It is magnificent. You should be proud, my dear.
What a relief.
Let me dish everyone.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
God bless
us. God bless us, everyone.
Tell me, Spirit, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered, the child will die.
A toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast? Indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. And I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children. Christmas.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. Oh, you know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do. Poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I will drink to his health for your sake, and the day's, not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Mr.
Christmas,
Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
I am truly a blessed man.
Give us a song, Tim.
Is there no chance that boy will be spared?
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will find him here. What then? He be like to die. If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Man, if man you be in heart, forbear that wicked cant until you have discovered what the surplus really is and where it is. Will you decide who shall live and who shall die? It may be in the sight of heaven you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. Come, we must move on.
Quite a jovial bunch, aren't they?
It is a fair, even-handed, noble adjustment of things that while there is infection in disease and sorrow, there is nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter!
He said that Christmas was a humbug.
Oh, surely you're joking, Fred.
No, as I live and breathe, he did.
Oh, do you think he meant it?
Oh, my Uncle Scrooge does not say anything he does not mean.
Then shame on him, Fred.
Emily.
He's a ridiculous old fool, and I have no patience for the man.
He's a comical old fellow, that is true. However, his offenses carry their own punishment. Therefore, I have nothing to say against him.
You are a better person than I, my dear, and that is why I love you so.
Oh.
Well, I hear he's very rich.
Yeah, what of that? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do any good with it. He doesn't even make himself comfortable with it.
Well, he hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he is ever going to benefit you with it.
Still, I think there's something intriguing about him.
Intriguing?
Why, yes. He's secret and self-contained, and as solitary as an oyster.
Oh, I think people know him for what he is. Hard and sharp as flint.
Even the blind men's dogs appear to know him, and when they see him coming, they tug their owners into doorways and up courts, and then wag their tails as if to say no eye at all is better than an evil eye master.
Papa, stop.
I pity him.
Come now, Fred.
I do. Who else suffers by his ill whims but himself? By not making merry with us, I am sure he loses pleasanter companions than he can find in his own thoughts, either in his moldy old office or his dusty chambers. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but I mean to give him the same chance every year to grace us with his presence, whether he likes it or not.
He has his mother's spirit.
Yes, he does. Fanny would have been very proud of him.
Perhaps you will find it within yourself to tell him so someday. Come, we must move on.
Enough of this gloomy topic. Let's get on with the games.
Games, Spirit. It has been so long since I have played. Please, can we stay?
But we have more to see.
It's just 1/2 hour more.
What shall we play?
How about Blind Man's Bluff?
Oh, I've heard of a new game.
Oh,
What is it?
It's called Yes or No. I am to think of something, and the rest of you must find out what by asking questions of which I may only answer yes or no.
Well, sounds simple enough. Let's give it a go.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Is it an animal?
Yes.
Oh, a delicate animal?
Oh, most certainly not.
Oh, only yes or no.
A savage animal, then.
Yes.
Oh, does it growl or grunt?
Yes.
Does it live in London?
Is it a cat?
No.
Is this animal killed in the marketplace?
No.
Well, does it walk the streets?
Yes.
Oh, it's a bear.
No.
Let's see. A rather disagreeable animal that growls and grunts and walks the streets of London. I know what it is.
Well, what is it?
It's Fred's Uncle Scrooge!
You're right.
Although I'd rather think a bear would have been a more sufficient of an answer.
My uncle has given us plenty of merriment this evening, and it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health. Now, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, wherever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. To Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Come, we have much to do. My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight? Our spirits' lives so short.
Hark! The time is drawing near.
Forgive me, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself protruding from your robes. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw for the amount of flesh there upon it. Look here.
From behind his robe, 2 children, a boy and a girl, meager, ragged, scowling, and wolfish, kneel down at his feet and cling to the outside of his garment.
Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's. They cling to me, appealing from their fathers. She is ignorance beside her want. Beware them both and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see written that which is doom, unless the writings be erased. If you deny him or let him lie under the rolling waves of years, then his blind revenge is sure to lead to certain destruction.
Have they no refuge or resources to help them?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You are about to show me the shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen, but as I know that your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to become a better man from what I was, I am prepared to bear your company and do so with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, Spirit, lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me, I know. Lead on.
Old Scratch has got his own at last, eh?
I don't know much about it. Only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me. That's all I know.
It's likely to be a very cheap funeral upon my life. I don't know of anybody who'd want to go to it.
Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I'll offer to go if anybody else will.
Well, I don't mind going if a lunch is provided. I must be fed.
I know those men, but tell me, Spirit, why would this conversation hold any interest for me? For what purpose am I here?
Lights change and Scrooge is immediately struck in the nose by the rancid stench permeating in the air and grows nauseous.
I have never penetrated this part of town before, but am well aware of its ill repute. The foul and narrow alleys have rank offenses, and each corridor reeks with crime, filth, and misery. Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson. Trust me, let us go.
Enter Mrs. Dilber, laundress, and undertaker. All three stop and look at each other in silence, and suddenly Mrs. Dilber and Undertaker erupt in laughter.
What's this? An undertaker, a laundress, and a char lady, and all come at once, eh?
Look here, Joe. It's by chance, I tell you. Wouldn't you know, all three met here without meaning it.
You couldn't have met in a better place. You were made free of it long ago, you know. And this one ain't no stranger. But I have never had the pleasure of your company at my establishment.
As my first time.
Well, don't be afraid. I'll be gentle. Come on, let's get to it.
Why are you looking at odds, woman? Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true.
No man more than he.
Why don't you stand staring as if you was afraid? Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these?
Not a dead man.
No, indeed.
I suppose not.
Well...
I suppose not.
Well, if you wanted to keep him after he was dead, the wicked old screw, why wasn't he more natural in his lifetime?
If he had been, he'd have had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying, gasping out his last breath, alone in the dark, empty house.
With not a man, woman, or child to say, he was kind to me.
A cat was tearing at the door, and there was a sound of gnawing rats beneath the hearthstone. What they wanted in the room of death, and why they were so restless and disturbed, I dare not think of it.
Ugh. If this man could be raised up now, what would be his foremost thoughts? Avarice or dealing, griping cares? Will they have brought him to a rich end, truly?
The truest words that ever was spoke.
It's a judgment on him.
Yeah, I wish it was a little heavier judgment. Oh, and it should have been if I could have laid my hands on anything else.
All right. Enough prattling about. Let's see what you've got.
Ladies first.
Open my bundle, Joe. Let me know the value of it. Now speak out plain. I'm not afraid to be the first. I'm not afraid to let any of them see it. Open the bundle, Joe. Go ahead.
Wait, open mine first. It's less extensive.
What? What happened to ladies first?
Oh, you ain't no lady.
Oh, that's a low blow.
All
I don't
right,
like that.
all right, then you'll all get your chance. We're not gonna pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose.
No, indeed.
We should hope not.
Very well, then. Let's see what you've got. Oh, just a meagre picking is all. Pencil case, a pair of sleeve buttons, a brooch of no great value. 5 shillings. I wouldn't give another 6pence if I was to be boiled for not doing it. Who's next?
Oh, well, go on, dearie. Show him what you've got.
Let's see here. 2 sheets, 3 towels, an old shirt, pair of sugar tongs, and some old worn-out booties. That comes to around £1, 1 shilling, and 6pence.
£1, 1 shilling, and 6pence?
I always give too much to the ladies. It's a weakness of mine. That's the way I ruin myself.
But Joe...
That's your account. If you ask me for another penny, I'd repent for being so liberal and knock off half a crown.
Hey, what do you call these?
Ah, bed curtains.
Bed curtains?
You don't mean to say you took them down, rings and all, with them lying there?
Yes, I do. And why not?
You were born to make your fortune, dearie, and you certainly will.
Oh, I shan't hold my hand when I can get anything in it by reaching it out for the sake of such a man as he was. Oh, now look, that there's a fine blanket it is. You see, it keeps the cold out nicely.
Are these his blankets?
Well, whose else's do you think? Well, he ain't likely to take up cold without them, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die of anything catching.
Oh, don't be afraid of that. I ain't so fond of his company that I'd loiter about him for such things if he did. Oh, you may look through that shirt until your eyes ache, but you won't find a hole in it, nor a threadbare place. It's the best he had, and a fine one, too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you mean, wasting it?
Well, putting it on him to be buried in, to be sure. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off again. If calico ain't good enough for such a person, ain't good enough for anything.
It's quite as becoming to the body. He can't look any uglier than he did in that one.
Devil he was.
Right said.
We frightened everyone away from him when he was alive.
To profit us when he was dead.
I see, Spirit, I see. The course of this poor man's fate is a path that might be my own. My life tends that way now. Spirit, if there's any person who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show that person to me, I beseech you.
Well, what news have you? Well, is it good or bad?
Bad.
Oh, we're quite ruined then.
Oh, no. No, there's hope yet, Caroline.
Well, if he relents, there is. Nothing has passed hope if such a miracle has happened.
Oh, he's past relenting. He's dead.
Oh, heavens! Oi, when did this happen?
What the half-drunken lady, who I went to last night, who I told you about, said to me when I went to visit him to obtain a week's delay. What I thought was a mere excuse to avoid me turns out to have been quite true. He was not only dying, he was dying then.
Well, to whom will our debt be transferred?
Don't know. But when that time comes, we shall be ready with the money. But even if we were not, it would be a bad fortune indeed to find so merciless a creditor and his successor. We shall sleep tonight with light hearts, Caroline.
Yes. God forgive me, but
would have thought a man's death would bring about such relief?
No, please, show me some tenderness connected with a death.
Child, and set him in the midst. And when he had taken him in his arms, and said unto them, Whosoever shall receive a child, receiveth me, and whoever shall not receive him who sent me.
You are right, Mother.
The color hurts my eyes is all. They're better now again. It makes them weak by candlelight, and I wouldn't want to show your father weak eyes. It must be near his time.
That's it, brother. But I think he walked a bit slower than these past few evenings, Mother.
I have known him walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Very fast indeed.
So had all.
But he was very light to carry, and your father loved him so that it was no trouble. It was no trouble at all. There is your father at the door. The cemetery you went today.
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you will all see it often. I promised him that we would all walk there on a Sunday. My little child. My tiny Tim.
Don't grieve so, Father.
I met Mr. Scrooge's nephew, Fred, in the street today. He saw that I was down, and he asked what was the matter. I told him about our little Tim, and he replied that he was heartily sorry for it, and heartily sorry for your good wife. By the by, how he knew that, I do not know.
Knew what, my dear?
Why, that you are a good wife.
Everybody knows that.
Well said, my boy. I hope they do. Fred gives me his card and says, if I can be of service to you in any way, that's where I live. Pray, come to me. Now, it wasn't for the sake of anything he might have been able to do for us, so much as it was for his kind way, that this was quite delightful. It really seemed as if he had known our tiny Tim and felt with us.
Sure, he's a good soul.
You would be much surer of it, my dear, if you saw and spoke to him. I'm sure that none of us shall forget our tiny Tim, or this first parting there was among us.
No, Father.
No.
And when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, although he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily among ourselves and forget poor tiny Tim in doing so.
Of course not, Father.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, though the infant so tender and mild.
Sleep in I am very happy. Very happy indeed.
Answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be? Or are they the shadows of the things that may be only? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends. If persevered in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you have shown me.
The phantom remained immovable. The choking fog surrounded them, and as the mist cleared, an iron gate reveals its entrance to a churchyard. The spirit points forward. Scrooge creeps toward the stone of a neglected grave, revealing the name of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, no, spirit! No, no. Am I that man who no one showed remorse in his passing? Oh, hear me, spirit. I am not the man I was. Why show me this? If I am past all hope, good spirit, pity me, assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut the lessons out that they teach. Oh, tell me, please, spirit, that I may sponge away the writing on the stone. Oh, please, I am not the man I was. I am not the man I was. I am not the man I was. I am not the man I was.
The phantom melts away as the churchyard dissolves into familiar surroundings of his bedchamber, complete with bed curtains intact.
Here. The shadows of the things that would be can still be dispelled. Oh, they will be. Oh, I know they will. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob. I say it on my knees. Oh, I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I have been amongst the spirits. I don't know anything. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Scrooge dresses in a frenzy as church bells chime. He rushes to take in the fresh air of this glorious new day.
Oh, golden sunlight, heavenly sky, sweet fresh air. Oh, merry bells. Oh, glorious, glorious. Tell me, my fine fellow, what day is it today?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. Oh, hello there, my boy.
Yeah?
Do you know the poulterers in the next street at the corner?
I should hope so.
Oh, an intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there, the big one?
The one as big as me?
Delightful boy. Yes, my buck, that's the one.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
You're joking.
No, I am in earnest. Go and buy it and tell him to bring it here that I may give them direction where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. Oh, what a surprise it will be. It's nearly twice the size of Tiny Tim. Oh, my dear sirs, how do you do? I hope you succeeded yesterday in your endeavor, your charitable endeavors.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that is my name, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. And will you do me the honor of accepting a donation for your charity in the amount of...
Lord, bless me!
Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
If you please, not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me this favor?
My dear sir, I don't know what to say to such munificence.
Don't say anything, please. Come and see me, will you, to finalize the matter?
We will.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. I think he said Merry Christmas.
Here's the man. Now where's my half a crown?
Oh, here he is indeed, and what a turkey! Oh, he never could have stood upon his legs, that bird. He would have snapped them short off in a minute like sticks of sealing wax. Here you go, my boy. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Wow, thanks, mister.
Now, I want you to take this to a Mr. Bob Cratchit in Camden Town.
Camden Town?
You can't carry that all the way to Camden Town now, can you?
No, I can't.
No, yeah, you must have a cab. Hurry. I want them to have it in time for their Christmas dinner.
Scrooge walks about town and eventually finds himself at his nephew's house. The party guests, enjoying a rousing game of blind man's bluff, fail to hear Scrooge knocking at the door. Topper, blindfolded and disoriented after being spun around, is obviously intent on pursuing Jane.
Topper, you're cheating!
I believe you're right, my dear. Fred, it is I, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner, if you will still have me.
What? Why, bless my soul. Of course we'll have you. Emily, look who it is.
Oh, Emily. Hello, my dear. I can see now why my nephew is so taken with you. You are more beautiful than I remember. I know I don't have the right to ask, but could you find it in your heart to forgive an old fool who has just recently repented and does not wish to live another moment on this earth in solitude?
Merry Christmas, Uncle Scrooge.
You know, a wise mentor once said to me that the rough road of life is made more enjoyable with the right partner to help carry the burden.
I'll toast to that.
Uncle Scrooge, we were about to revel in Carol. Would you care to join us?
It has been a great many years. I shall delight in being but an audience to your melody. Fred, if I could have a word.
Yes.
Fred, I should have accepted your invitation long ago. Not only for my sake, but for your mother's. You see, I promised Fanny that I would look after you, and I am sorry to say that I have done a poor job of it. She would have been very proud to see the type of man that you've become. Please forgive me my many faults and the many pains I have caused you. How thoughtless and how foolish I have been.
Well, here now, Uncle. We shall enjoy your company for as long as you'll have us. And not just on Christmas, but the whole year round.
I shall like that very much.
A toast. May we all remain young at heart and welcome each day the regenerative spirit of generosity.
I'll drink to that.
You'll drink to anything.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Fred.
sits with contained joy waiting for his clerk. Bob Cratchit, running late, enters office quietly and tries to sit down without being noticed.
Mr. Cratchit, a word with you. What do you mean by coming in here at this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Yes, 18 minutes to be precise.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend, I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer, and therefore you leave me no choice but to raise your salary. A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas than I have given you, my good fellow, in many a year.
I do not. You're in a merry spirit this morning, sir.
Oh, let me tell you of a spirit with great power, Bob. The spirit of ignorance, which is shut up in a vessel of leaden composition and sealed with the seal of many, many Solomons. Release it in time, and it will bless, restore, and reanimate society. But let it lie under the rolling waves of years, and its blind revenge is sure to lead to certain destruction. I shall like to help you in your struggling family, Bob. I'll start by doubling your salary, and we will discuss the rest of your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. Now, make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas, Bob.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father.
He had no further interactions with spirits, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge.
May it be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error dying, till he appeared. And the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, a weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Oh, can you hear the angels, hear their voices? Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night
dear.